when I was in Japan at Camp McGill in 1945 and 46. You notice that my right hand is bandaged up. How that happened, we would cook in the bakery and make French fries, and we had a pot that we would have the grease in, set it on the gasoline burner, and forgot it for a second, and it burst into flames. So I put a cover over the pot to kill the flames, and now it's smoking real heavy. I grabbed a little towel, picked up the pot on the edge, and as I'm going to take this outside, because it was smoking up the bakery, one of the Japanese bakers threw a glass of water into the pot, and the grease exploded, burning my hand, arm, and a few parts on my face. Needless to say, I went to the medics, and they covered it with some special gauze that was impregnated with Vaseline, and from then on I bandaged it myself and covered it with Vaseline. The picture in the right hand, I'm sitting waiting, and we went down and seen Hiroshima and all of the damage down there. It was very, very interesting, but we didn't realize at the time that we were exposing ourselves to radiation. One of the things that me and Charlie did is that I had gasoline that was used to burn in our ovens. The field stoves would be in our ovens to bake the bread. And by turning the heat down and baking the bread slower, I didn't use a lot less gasoline. So they established my gas ration from how much when we first started baking the bread in the bakery. And since I was able to save gas, I had 52-gallon drums of spare gas. And so I had access to the quartermaster's corps, all the food we needed, etc. and so on. Charlie had access to the weapons carrier that had the radio components on it. And so I would supply the gas and the food. Charlie and Felton or some of the other radio operators with him would furnish the truck, and then we would drive around, and Japan, especially up in the mountains and what have you, have a great time. And we did this several times. It was a lot of fun. Also, one of the things about Charlie being a radio operator on that deal, some senators flew into Japan, and their plane crashed by Mount Fuji. And Charlie, with his radio truck, went up there to see what the plane that had crashed, and the senators and everyone was killed. And so they needed a report of this back to the States, and so Charlie on his radio sent the message to the States describing everything about the crash and that.